All right, guys. I know it's been a while since we've taken a look at this here Emerson. There's a few things I'd like to accomplish with it here today. I want to finish getting these compressor mounts in, and I'm actually going to get the compressor prepped for reinstall. Move you a little closer. We're going to start with that because I'm going to have to hose that down. Alright. So the tubes are all taped off, that's all safe. Wiring's all in good shape, but there's a decent amount to be done yet with mostly the feet and the metal surrounding it. This little piece here is pretty much completely useless, but I am going to be able to put a bushing in back in it, so I'm going to leave it alone and hope for the best. There is some rust around the base of the compressor, but nothing all the way through. That's a major advantage. I can't guarantee how much life this compressor has left in it, or the fan motor for that matter, but once this restoration is complete, it's going to be very easy to service because everything's already been done, you know, one at a time. Now, who knows, this might last another 30, 40 years. It might not break at all. But like I said, Brian, just keep in mind that your restoration is mostly cosmetic. Well, functionality too, obviously, because of the completely rotted out Basepan. But that's the hard part. Anything really repair-wise is going to be a lot easier. Like, for example, you call me back in a couple years and say, hey man, listen, I think my compressor took a shit. It's like, well, okay, I could take it back and this will easily pop out to cut the lines again, but nothing that can't be brazed back on. Or you say, hey Russ, my fan motor quit, or my fan motor ain't working. All right, well, a couple hours later, I can have a new fan motor put in. And also, Brian, while I have this apart, I'm actually going to be texting you sometime today to see if you want a TXV upgrade on this unit as well. I recommend it, but that depends on if you feel like putting the money into it or not. Completely up to you. But basically what I'm doing here to your compressor is bend this up a little bit. Good. Is I am grinding all the surface rust off of it and getting ready to give it a coat of paint. I think I'm going to go green with it. Rust-Oleum, of course. That's where most of your rust is down here. Luckily, it doesn't look like anything went through it. So that's good. Your compressor's still in good shape yet, which is a major advantage. Here's an Emerson Cool sticker that I'm going to try to pop off. Or, nah, I'm not going to pop it off. I'm just going to put a piece of tape over it. A little bit surface rust right here and around the bolt here. Whatever this thing I think is called an accumulator is. Put that right there. Try to get in here the best I can. In here the best I can, but kind of a little bit of a limited access. That's okay, it really don't look too bad anyway. I want to take this off at some point too and check your terminals, make sure your thermal overload's in good condition. Hopefully this don't miss the video. I'm going to try this little, I don't know what that did. It didn't do anything. Check the bottom of the compressor out because there's going to be some rot in here. Hopefully nothing crazy, but we shall see. Ooh, yeah. I should have safety glasses on, but I'm squinting instead. Just as well, I guess. This is definitely by far, I would say, the most important part of that compressor redo as far as paint goes, is get the freaking old shit out of it. You gotta stop the rust, yeah, but you gotta get rid of anything that's already rusted to be able to successfully or effectively do that. I wish there was something I could do to make this better, but unfortunately with rust damage, a lot of times what's done is done. I mean, if it was really bad, I could get one of those mounting kits and put new feet on it, but this is definitely salvageable. It's not perfect, but it's usable. I know the heat's coming, and I wanted to have this back to you by now, but most of the hard shit's done. I gotta run your controls through the ultrasonic cleaner yet. Lube up your buttons. Let's check out, while I have this apart, let's check out your terminals. And also you want to save the, before I forget, because sometimes I get carried away here. See your EQK tag through that. What we're going to do is a nice laceration around it. Nice and easy. Again, we're not setting a speed record here. Whoop. Let's go upward on that one. Tell you what, that Tecumseh B series from that Fetters over there, I have running in my kitchen right now. Music to the ears. Sounds so good. There you go. Now you gotta do the same with this data tag up here. Now just for some reason, in case it would not work, or if the tape peels the ink off, always back up your information. After we get this, we're going to go back to the base pan and let that dry, because I'm going to have to hose this down lightly, but I still got to hose it down. Let's make sure I didn't miss anything here. But again, that's all in while you clean it up. nice and steady. Put pressure on there enough to dig through, but not enough to scar the compressor housing. It's a nice, firm but soft. How often? Nice but soft contact will suffice just fine. Get the hell off me. Little tiny spider. At least it's one of the small ones, not the big ones. Hate them damn things. And that's money. We're not going to go crazy. Just a quick shower here. Make sure you get everything, the whole thing. Get all that crap off of it. Give that 45 minutes to an hour, especially out here in the heat like this. The sun's going down. It would have been better if I did it earlier, but I didn't, so it is what it is. You can what if all you want, but what didn't happen, didn't happen. What did happen, happened. Turn the hose off for now. Blow my damn nose quick too. All right, so we're letting the compressor dry a little bit. Next, we're gonna put our focus right here. So, this is definitely gonna need some help again at some point here. Just moving this so you guys can see what we have here. So basically, we just threaded this post in, and we're gonna do it again. I forget exactly what size. I think it was one of these washers here that I used. Yep. It was. One of the rubber mounts that we're not going to need yet. Again, working without music for you guys. KB Weld. This is your steel mixture, and this is your hardener. Mix up some steel. Now, real weld would obviously be a little bit better, but for what we're doing, it's not holding any weight. It's just basically just a support beam, more or less. So this will suffice perfectly for what we're trying to accomplish here. I usually do like a 50-50 mix, maybe a little bit heavier on the hardener. But you got to be quick with it. It starts to harden up pretty quick. Whoop, and we are out of focus again. Okay. All right, so you have your mixture. Just give it a little light. Should turn like a grayish color when it's done being mixed. Try not to get it on your fingers for obvious reasons. And do it in a ventilated area too, as this shit stinks. Alright. I see like that's like a mixture between the white and the black. It's like a grayish in color. See if you can zoom in for you. There you go. Now I could have got this out of the same thread, same piece, I'm sure, but I just didn't really want to deal with the hassle of trying to thread a cut edge back into the base pan, especially when I'm on a time crunch. So I'll be using these again at some point. So I'm really not too worried about it, to be honest. Still in focus? Yes. Thank God, because we have to be quick here. So just like a freaking thread sealer for a plumber, just coat your thread up on it like that, like so. Make sure it's actually in there, and send it like this. Make sure we're through the other side, and we are. Don't got to go ridiculously crazy, but you do want to make sure it's in there. A little bit down here along the base pan itself, like so. Probably wouldn't have hurted to score it a little bit, but this stuff's pretty resilient. It'll hold, no problem. Put this down there like so. Without getting on my hands, hopefully. Ooh, that was close. So the next one, I'm gonna thread this on first. Whatever. No harm, no foul. It would have made a lot more sense to put this piece on first, but oh well. No use crying over spilt milk. We're almost there. Get the adjustable wrench and tighten her down. I know it's not a Pepsi. I bought those to go with my 1950s fridge back when me and Dave started working on the kitchen. But I didn't really end up drinking too many of them, unfortunately. We're gonna tighten this bitch down, like really tight, but not tight enough to rip the threads out. That's gonna be pretty counterproductive. You'll get a rag so I can wipe the shit off my channel locks. Not channel locks, not channel locks. They're not channel locks at all. My adjustable wrench, I meant. There we go. This time I'm gonna be smarter. Put that on first. Butter it up. Hell yeah. Put that on first and thread it in. Like so. So it's sticking out a little bit. There we go. And tighten it up. And that's money. Put a little bit around here, but we are more or less in. Actually, you made about the perfect amount too. I was just eyeing it up. Usually I have a little bit of waste. I always figure it's better to make a little bit more than a little bit less, but good enough for now. I almost hate to do that. That looks really freaking cool right there, the way that totally lined up. Yep. Now, the reason I use this and not a brush, because I don't really want to waste a brush, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Once you use it, once you put JB Weld on something, you're not really getting enough unless you grind it down, and you're not going to grind down a brush. It's just not going to happen. The reason I'm trying to cover it all up is not only so it doesn't pull out, but more, like I said, more rust prevention measures. It said rust is a window AC unit's worst enemy. Any of the serious collectors are going to tell you that. So we're done with the JB Weld. I'm going to put this away. We're done with the nuts and the washers right now, so I'm going to put them away too. This is supposed to hold the compressor, but I don't know where my third washer went to. I'm actually a little bit concerned, to tell you the truth. So I'm going to have to dig around and look, but that's not really too important at this exact moment. That's just a little bit of the last time. Everything else is pretty stable. Like I said, obviously you get to drop the compressor in next, but that's probably not going to be for a little bit yet. That actually went a lot quicker than I thought it was going to, but it doesn't matter. Some progress is progress, because like I said, we're kind of getting a little pushy on getting this done. And Brian, I apologize for how long it's taken so far, but at least you can be rest assured I have video proof that's going to be done right. Now, I don't want to grind these off yet because I want to give the JB weld a chance to actually fully cure. But as you can see, your triangular pattern is there. This is going to be the front of the unit. That's the back of the unit. Funny thing is, it's actually sitting on an EQK case, believe it or not. And a super thrust case next to it. Move this over a little bit. Get a chance to dry off. Probably wouldn't hurt, honestly, to blow it off with the air gun. If I can speed the process up a little bit. But I'd rather make sure it's actually dry. So, like I said, even if I don't get to the painting part tonight, we are a major step in the right direction. I'm going to go back to this for a minute. Hate that. I do want that to sit outside. It's not supposed to rain tonight. So I'll move this out to the fire pit area. Like I said, and just for a quick judgment so you can see, for some of you guys that are maybe just tuning in on this project, maybe you didn't know about, or if you're rusty, see what I did there? Rusty. This was the base pan for this air conditioner. As you can tell, it's completely gone. And there's your new one. This is what's left of one of your compressor mounts right there. It's a little freaking nubby. Yeah. Right here, that's it. It's a little nub. And there's your new one. This drain hole here is for aesthetics, for looks, so it lines up good with the existing case. These are your actual drain holes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set a table up, make a table up right here. And I actually have another air conditioner to clean tonight for a buddy of mine. I'm not gonna record it because it's a newer model. He wants it just touched up, so I said, sure, why not? This is your condenser coil. I am going to take remove the rear grill just temporarily. Let me grab a pair of needle nose pliers quick. Right. I'll put these off to the side. They're going to get lost for sure. course, I'm going to put the highly necessary EQK tag on the back. Because why wouldn't I? Don't do the job half-assed. Do for this right now is turn the water off. Is get this ready for sanding and painting as well. What I mean by painting is the framework of it. This could probably, yeah, let me take that off. Hopefully I'm in the camera. Probably a check, huh? If not, you guys are probably bored. Okay, yeah, we're good. Like from this perspective, maybe. This don't have to be painted now. Just at some point. That's crusty. Like I said, this all needs to be gone over. I'm not worried about messing up the paint on this Emerson Kool case because I'm going to redo it in the factory color anyway. Put it back to how it was. I really want to use this unit again, but I want to save it for the right time because it was my grandfather got it for me. He passed away in 2011. That was one of my life's biggest losses. And I lost my grandma. As you guys know, I remember telling you, some of my guys have subscribed to me for a while, been watching for a while. I lost her in 2023. It's another sad time in my life, and this unit was in her house. My cousin lives in the house now, which at the time when I removed it, I didn't know that they were going to get it. So I kind of feel guilty now, but at the same time, I feel more comfortable having it in my possession anyway. This unit's getting a drain hole mod. So this piece here is actually pretty unnecessary. Being first off, there's just more places it could leak, especially looking how rough it is. You can tell it's pretty well shot. It actually kind of looks like a heating element. So we are going to cap it, crimp it, cut it off, give a little bit of room to put the new line in, but cut it off right about here. Now I'm going to save that because parts of it are still look decent yet, and that could actually be used when we put the compressor back in. So crimp that off just for moisture preventive purposes. Probably should have done that there too. Let me go down a little bit because I do know that we did grind that off. I'm gonna crimp this down pretty far, especially since it's gonna start getting wet. Now this obviously is gonna get pumped out and I'm hoping to give it some test pressure to see if we have a leak. I don't believe we do. It did get really freaking cold, but I would like to have one of my contacts that you know actually do work on a cooling system just verify that for me by, you know, putting it under pressure. Now this is just because you do not want to get water in the line. Yes, you're going to vacuum it out and make sure the system's dry before you fill it back up, but it's just better to prevent it. The best way of preventing something is to take the countermeasures first before it gets a chance to even happen. So a little bit of preventative maintenance, if you will. Like I said, it does have its freaking weak spots on it, but I have no reason to believe that it can't be saved. And honestly, one of the worst problems that you can have with a unit is having a leak beyond the coil itself, especially if it's inside. Because a coil that turns the restoration project from a couple $100 to potentially a couple thousand. Because yeah, they'll literally, unless you get lucky enough to have a scrap one, which I do not. I don't have a scrap Emerson Coil, so that'll be very expensive to have that reconstructed. Easily $1,000 for a custom coil. So I like to wet them down first. Jet. You want to get all the heavy stuff off that you can. Make for a cleaner end result. And this thing is filthy, like disgustingly filthy. Grab the wire brush back out. Right there, knock that off. Yep, like that. This right here, knock that off. Same thing, a little bit of rust lingering around. Do a quick brush up and down like that to get anything that might be hanging out inside of that out of there. Don't go like this for obvious reasons. Always go in the direction of the coil, or the fins. I mean, I'm sorry, coil runs opposite. You know what I meant. Stop getting me on technicalities. I know some of you smartasses are thinking it. Like I said, all this pieces that's missing, when we get to that point, I'll show you what I do about that to remedy that. Like I said, you guys wanted the full process restoration, you'll get one. It's going to be probably at least 50 or 60 hours into this by the time it's done. So it's not even practical to make a full video. I think we're already like 6 or 7 hours into it. And where the 60 to 100 hours comes in, that comes in, you know, the seal pressure and all that. Obviously, I'll show it when it gets done, but I'm not going to sit there and have a camera on it the whole entire freaking time. That's just not practical. And I also might miss a few parts when I leave it with somebody else, because I don't know if they're going to want to work on it when I'm not there, which is fine. But that's not going to be until we get it put back together and we're ready to get the cooling system done. Well, that's the part that I really do want to show. But whether or not it'll happen, I don't know. I'm going to try. Like I said, I really want to get the whole process on. But you'll at least get the whole physical restoration part. I might miss some of the cooling system work, but again, it'll show the full process of actually doing a restoration. Still in focus? Yep. Sure I got a clean surface for it all to go. Looks like I pretty much do. Alright. We're ready for some coil cleaner. You guys see me mix, but actually, you know what, it is part of the restoration video, so I will show it. I know most of you have seen me mix lube right before, but I'll show it again for the full restoration video. I usually don't do it on my grass, but I'll just make sure I spray it down real good when we're done. I'm going to mix it pretty heavy too for this instance. Heavier than I normally do, put it that way. I could move this project out front, but I already have enough projects going on out front right now. And I will be new brightening out front in a little bit too. All right. So I mix this one significantly heavier than the last one I mixed up in it. The main thing is when you do a heavy mixture is make sure you don't let it sit on too long. See how blue that is? That's pretty heavy. That's about a 1/3 to 1/4 mixture. The only time I usually mix that heavy is if it's something like this. Oops. Did I do that? That's okay. That's okay. I'll hose it off. Like it never happened. And I'll get some radioactive freaking critters out there now. Roundworms, crickets, hopefully not spiders. Because fuck spiders. Now I'm going to mix that down really good so it don't harm the grass. Or get into my well, which is 500 feet below it. So it should get, the harmful shit should be sorted out by then. I would hope. But anyway, so we already wetted it down pretty well. I get my drink so I don't get my get water and noob right in my Coke. And I'm gonna noob right it. We're gonna take a break. Oh yeah. That freaking spider out there. At least I had mercy on you, son of a bitch. Oh yeah, look at that, you see it? A lot of that crap's coming right off, just the pressure from this. So after I'm done with this part here, I think that's about as far as I'm gonna get for the day. That's still a little bit wet for the compressor. So I'm gonna let that dry. I'll probably do it over the weekend. But I feel pretty good about where we got today. It's been a few weeks since I've done any work on this, admittedly. Sad but true. Like I say, I was really hoping it was back to its owner by now, but I'm sure Brian would agree with me that he's a pretty sensible guy. That's better to do it right and take the time than rush it and have anything on it half-assed. Now the unit that I gave him to replace this for now is a 24,000 BTU model, but it's an off-branded. I think it's the Harvard brand. So that's working for now. So, but the family wants their nostalgic unit back, and I don't blame them. So I'm doing my best to have this back to you guys at a reasonable time. Like I said, I apologize it ain't back yet, but you guys, your parents too, Brian, they seem pretty reasonable people. I'm sure they would rather make sure it's done right, even if it takes a little bit longer. Yeah, I could have said fuck it and half-assed it and put it back together by now, but I would know that it wasn't done to the best of my ability. And also there'd be video evidence on it. So where would I really be getting? I'm not out to deceive nobody. I'm not, if I tell somebody I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it right. I have full intentions on staying true to my end of the bargain. Like I said, some of the rust stains might not come out, but the coils itself will be clear, and we'll do a light test on it too. And what I mean by a light test is you shine light through it, and if you see all the light and there's no blockages, you know that your coil's clean. It's especially important for the evaporator, because that's what you breathe in. I mean, it's important for your condenser for functionality, equally as important for your condenser for functionality purposes. But for your health purposes, the evaporator is definitely more important. Get it in there good, which we are. We're starting to get some foam in action, which is a good thing. Most of your foam in action is usually on your evaporator. Hey, Robbie. Good, man. Good. Just wrapping up this Coil. You got here a little bit earlier?
Yeah, I snuck out a little bit early.
Cool.
It's a really cool building. It's the old Miners Bank downtown.
Minersville.
Downtown in Pottsville, the Miners Bank with the big brass doors on it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah, this is a condenser coil.
Yeah.
I am rebuilding an Emerson Cool for a guy. I'm just trying to get a little bit done on it, but I'm almost wrapped up with it. I thought I was going to be able to put a coat of paint on the compressor today, but that's just not gonna work out.
Yeah.
So yeah, give me like 5 more minutes with this, and we'll get started.
Yeah, it's the old Minersville Bank, the Miners National Bank downtown. It's right by where the Treadway used to be.
Yeah.
Where the big church, I forget the name of it. It's right in that area, right in the beginning of town. Has the big brass doors on it.
So it's architecturally impressive, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, it's a fucking cool building. So it's going to be a hotel.
Doesn't have any old ACs in it, does it?
I didn't see any. I was checking around all when I was in there, and I didn't see anything.
Yeah, I'm just worried about my freaking grass with a coil cleaner, but
yeah,
it should be okay. I've never had a problem.
It'll grow.
I was making sure I dilute it really good.
Yeah, it'll grow back. Yeah, I bet there's 100 people there for the introduction.
When's the introduction?
Today.
Oh, it was today.
This was, yeah. Yeah. They had it catered and everything, but I didn't have anything.
Huh. I didn't even know about that.
Yeah. I'm doing the drawings for it, so that's why I was involved.
Oh, there you go. Sounds like a blast.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's one of my coolest projects.
I'll get this cleaned up and I'll set the table saw up out here.
All right.
I went to 3 fucking Ace Hardwares to get that. I went to fucking Haddesty's. I went to Warner's.
Yeah.
They're cool as shit. They didn't have it. The one because I was used to the old was it Persona Lumber, whatever the hell it was called there before?
Yeah.
Scott Millworth.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and that guy was always a douche.
Yeah.
The new owner's cool as shit. He wants to buy some advertising off me.
Oh, awesome. Good deal.
So yeah, it worked out. He didn't have what I was looking for, but I guess it still
you got something out of it. Yeah, definitely.
Then I went to Origsburg, freaking the one down there. They didn't have it. So I went to Lowe's. Freaking Lowe's had it.
They had it.
Because I am a big fan of supporting local business.
Me too. I try to go to the small places whenever I can.
But if they don't have what you need, they don't have what you need.
Yeah, you can't help it sometimes. Or the hours. Like sometimes you need something at 7 o'clock at night and they're not ever open.
Yeah, I know my well's down here too, but it's 500 feet down. The dirt will filter all that shit out.
Trust me, I'm sure there's a lot worse stuff in the ground than this.
Oh my god, yeah. So watch me get some radioactive fucking spiders or fucking crickets or fucking earthworms.
Yeah.
It'll be like the Alaskan bullworm from SpongeBob SquarePants.
Yep. Yep. I was thinking The Simpsons, didn't they predict the future with a lot of the shit that they did?
Yeah. Well, if you have that many freaking episodes, some of it's bound to actually happen.
Some of it's gonna come true, yeah.
I was always a Family Guy fan over The Simpsons.
Yeah.
But someone said there was one where they predicted Donald Trump being the president.
I don't remember that.
And they had a picture. They had Donald Trump riding an elevator down or something like that.
Yeah.
And like when they compared it to the Simpsons episode, the real footage was like almost identical.
When he came down on the escalator, yeah. Yeah, I heard that too, but I don't know if it's real or not.
Who the hell knows?
I used to watch it, but I don't remember that. And I wouldn't have remembered as a kid. I wouldn't have even thought anything of that.
No. Like I said, I was trying to do the coils this way as much as possible because otherwise it runs down. That shit actually soaks in there in between them and has a chance to really
corrodes them out.
Exactly. So what you're doing is you're eating away the. Well, actually, you're eating away some of the aluminum too, which is why you really got to be careful of how heavy you mix it.
Yeah.
But you're eating all that shit that's not supposed to be on there off of it. Basically, if it's not metal, it's going to eat it away. And even the metal will eat away too, honestly.
Is it acid?
They say it's not. I don't see how they can claim that though.
Yeah.
I know bases can do a lot of damage too.
Yeah.
So it might be a base. I really don't know. I'm pretty sure it's
because isn't soap a base?
Yeah, it depends. I think it is. It all depends on the pH level, whether it's a base or an acid.
Yeah. Yep.
I think anything under 7 is a base, and anything above 9 is acidic. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that.
Water's like 5 or 6, I think. I don't know.
So Carolyn brought Cam over to graduation because I had this to go to, but she may call me to pick her up, and I'm not sure if she'll call me or her mom.
Oh, that's fine. you got to bail for a little bit, that's fine.
Yeah, it's only over the high school, so I'm not taking
Pottsville.
Yeah, yeah.
Put that on freaking jet, really get it in there good. Then I'll tip it over, put one more coat on.
Alright.
Let it sit for a minute or two, hose it off, and we're done.
Alright, sounds good.
I have to get this guy's air conditioner done.
Yeah.
This is one I built the Basepan for. This is a full freaking the most in-depth rebuild I've done so far. Now my subscribers wanted me to always show them full restorations.
Yeah.
So I am.
Good deal.
And there's a lot of freaking steps. I think it's like my 4th update on it.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get in one video. The video will be like 60 hours long. No one's gonna sit for that long.
Yeah, you just take little chunks of it.
I get the whole thing, but like I do it on a day-by-day basis. Like I'm already, I think, like almost an hour in right now.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's one of those things where when you do something, you have to wait for the step to be fully done before. Like for example, you can't paint it. You have to wait till it dries.
Stuff has to dry.
You want to make sure it's completely dry. Otherwise, you're not getting anywhere. All you're gonna have to do is do it over.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be harder the second time. You didn't do it right the first time. It is satisfying. This coil was disgusting when I started. It cleaned up.
It was better just from when I got here.
Got a little bit of coil rot, which ain't good, but it's not enough to kill your condensing capability. I don't even think that's bad enough to lose any efficiency. I've seen ones where the coil is rotted all the way down to there.
Really?
Usually carrier units. I don't know what it is or what they did differently.
Yeah.
But carrier units, a lot of times you see them, they'll
They rot it more.
yeah. Coincidence? I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they use a different type of aluminum or just their design.
This is the part that you'll see from the back. This is the external part. Even that cleaned up a little bit nicer than I expected it to. Oh, yeah, look at all that shit. That shit was all caked in on the inside of your freaking coil, which blocks heat transfer over time.
Remember when we were kids and we used to do the science fairs when we were in school? I did a air conditioner one year.
Did you?
Yeah. Yep, I had it all set up and labeled all the parts of it.
Yeah, condenser, because people don't realize how important the condenser is. And the condenser is almost always neglected too, because people don't think of it. There's no filter for it. None. So they all get blocked over time. The fact that these things sitting there for 50, 60 years and still work is actually amazing.
Yep, seriously.
But like I said, if you keep your condenser coils clean, a lot of times your unit will actually freeze up because of that. You know what I mean?
It's not efficient because it's all dirty.
Exactly. You want to get rid of the heat as quickly as possible. People think an air conditioner is only blowing cold air. No, it's not. It's blowing cold air, yeah, but it's taking the heat from inside and transferring it to outside via the condenser, compressor, and evaporator. All right, look at how it's fit. Yeah, one more coat can go through. It actually stained it a little bit, the New Bright, which ain't gonna hurt nothing. It just looks better when you don't stain it. But there's ways you're not gonna, like I said, there's a rear grill for this one. You're not gonna see it anyway. Where the hell did I put my pump spray? Oh, over here. Like I said, they put a newer one in. This is installed through the wall. They have one in the window. And they said it just doesn't put out. I'm like, yeah, I bet it doesn't. In comparison, like this, they're used to that blast of cold air that this one gave.
Yeah.
It's an Emerson Coil, like the one in my living room wall there.
Okay.
Almost identical to it, as a matter of fact.
Is that one of your favorite ones?
Yep. They probably are my favorite, actually. Nostalgic. I had one in my living room growing up. Fan motor took a shit. My dad didn't fix it, he replaced it. And the Federer's air temp that we got in place of it was it was like 1997. I think it was 1998. It just didn't work as good.
Wasn't as strong.
It's better than the shit that they make now, yeah.
Yeah.
It still wasn't what the 70s ones were, or the ones before it. Yeah, let that soak in. Like I say, it's still foaming pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
My air compressor. Oh, the best foaming action is hands down on the evaporators.
Yeah.
Because not much mold happens in the back. That's all like outside dirt, stuff like that.
Yeah.
A lot of times, if you live near the road, you'll get salt damage, especially down the shore. Like you see ones in Jersey and anywhere in the coastline. Usually there's significant coil rot. And half those units didn't even make it by now. They were installed near the ocean. Yeah. You ain't gonna survive that. The only way they're gonna survive that is you put a protective coating on everything, and if you drill a drain hole immediately when you installed it.
Yeah.
Most people did not drill the drain hole.
Yeah.
They should have.
You think from the factory, if they were selling 100 units to a store, a chain or something that was near the coast, although that's not how it was done back then, was it?
Oh, they were sold, but like I said, they want you to buy new units. You know,
That's true, yeah.
I mean, planned obsolescence is worse now than it was back then. I don't even think they really had planned obsolescence back then.
Yeah.
But the idea of the slinger wheel is to make the unit run cooler.
Yeah.
But you're doing more harm to the unit than you are good by doing that. That's why I always push the drain holes, because if you prevent that water from sitting in the base pan and splashing, you prevent rust.
Stop it from rusting out.
And then you won't have any of this crap.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you get leaks right there from vibration. Luckily, this unit here, I'm pretty sure it doesn't have any leaks. It still had a very good charge on it.
Yeah.
Another thing was rotted. Here's a base pan for it.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I had the guys at work make me one for it.
Good.
So.
Is that the drain hole you're talking about there on the...
There's one, there was one from factory, but the drain holes I put in were yeah, I tapped them out too. That's not a nut and a bolt. That's freaking
Threaded in there.
Threaded it in. Oh yeah. I'm not messing around. I don't like returns.
No, you don't want returns. No return policy.
Like I said, they bought this unit new, and they want it replaced because it's nostalgic to them, and I fully get it.
Yeah, I get that.
They said initially they just didn't replace it because it was in the wall and the new one was a smaller size, so they just threw it in the window.
Yeah.
Once they realized, hey, this thing doesn't really work as good, it's like, we should see about getting this thing fixed.
Yeah. Where does it go?
Oh, this is Bethlehem.
Bethlehem.
It's actually one of my subscribers freaking asked me if I would mind.
Oh, cool.
I said I usually don't, but since you're close by, I said sure, why not?
So do you have a YouTube channel?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I have to look for it.
Oh, I'm easy to find. I don't really advertise it to people I know because most people don't really care. But if you want to know, I'll send you a link.
All right, yeah, send me a link.
Yeah, we have a very niche community. I wish I could tell you it was problem-free, but it's not.
Nothing is.
No, you always have an asshole no matter where you go.
Club, you think that would be the most basic thing? It's the same way with that.
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah,
back
so
in
this
the
guy-
1800s
this guy-
we had the same problems.
This guy here wants this guy here says, shut the fuck up and just coexist. I've had to remove people already.
Isn't it crazy?
I don't like doing that.
No, you wouldn't think you'd have to. I think everybody would be adults by now.
It's not a very political group of people because most of them are actually lean right. Because it's all about conservation, the past and stuff like that. People are a pretty conservative group of people.
Yeah.
But every now and again you get a problem.
Yeah. That's how the Black Powder Club is too.
We had the freaking it's been a while since I had a band somebody. The last time I banned somebody was the freaking white power guy.
Oh yeah.
She was pissing off my subscribers and pissing off people in the AC group on Facebook and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, you gotta go.
Yeah. Yeah, because you know what? It takes one or two like that, and it filters through
I
to
gave him
everybody.
several warnings. I said, dude, I said, this is an HVAC group. Keep your freaking nonsense to yourself. Or I'm sure there's a group like that in Facebook that freaking, if you want to talk shit, go for it.
Absolutely.
So we have some freaking, we have some black people in our community. I have subscribers like that. You know, freaking, you're alien. Like I said, it's a very small group as is. Why the fuck would you want to alienate people?
Right. Yep. Yeah, and you get one or two bad apples, and it just filters through to everybody.
Yep.
Same way with the job site. You
Oh,
have
dude.
a real good group of people, and you got one asshole in there, and then before you know it, everybody's
all
stabbing everybody in the back. Yeah.
Another way to tell if you're clear is if you're putting through and you can see. You can probably, I can't tell, but you can see water out
I
the
can
other
see
side.
water coming through. Yeah.
Yeah, that means you're good.
Yep. Made some of my sourdough bread today.
Did you?
Yeah, I made an egg sandwich this morning for breakfast, and I made
There
a
you
tuna
go.
sandwich for dinner. Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of bread, Liz is going to be bringing us McDonald's at some point.
Oh, okay, awesome. Thank you.
I don't know if you want to text her and tell her what you want.
Oh, I'll eat anything. I just have to be careful of the buns and stuff, so you might laugh at me. Because I'll just probably eat the meat.
I ain't going to laugh at you, dude, because I got a freaking, I got a watch too. I'm getting fat. Although I'm losing weight again, half my freaking pants are falling down.
That's a good thing. Probably
Yeah.
from doing this, you know it.
Oh,
Being active with all this stuff.
Yeah.
Plus your job, you're active, right?
yeah. Well, I spend half my night running around like an idiot.
Yeah.
Although it's going to get a little bit easier for me now. I got that, my team leave's actually official now. And now there's a little bit more to it. They want to have guys under me, which I never had before. Before, I was just like a fill-in in case the supervisor wasn't here.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm actually going to have guys under me.
That's good.
So I'm actually pretty excited about that.
Yeah, definitely.
It'll be a
You're
learning curve for me because I'll be in a different department taking care of the out. I was always in the heart of the mill and extrusion.
Yeah.
But now I'm going to be doing a lot of the outlying areas. So
Okay.
it'll be a bit of a learning curve, but
Yeah.
I'm not really going to be doing much of the work. I'm just going to be supervising
Yeah, that's cool.
unless somebody needs help.
It's tough sometimes because you think everybody's going to work like you do. Like
No.
You know how you want stuff done. And it's not like that at all. I found that out.
I'm easy to work for, though.
Yeah, good deal. Just get your work done. That's
Exactly. That's
all
all I ask. You guys want to fuck off and hide? I don't care. But just make sure the work's done
Get
first.
stuff done, yeah.
If I have supervisors calling me up and asking me why no one's working on their equipment, I go looking for you guys are in the break room playing cards.
Yeah, that's
I'm not
gonna be
going
a
to be too.
problem.
I'm not going
Right.
to be too happy about it.
Right.
But if I walk in there by happenstance and see everybody freaking hiding in there or even sleeping, I don't give a fuck as long as the equipment's running.
Yeah, yep.
There's some guys that try to keep everybody busy. See, I'm not like that. In my opinion,
No, that's bullshit.
in my opinion,
That's busy work.
In my opinion, in maintenance,
Uh-huh.
if the maintenance ain't busy,
That's a good
the
sign.
the
That's a
company's
good
making
sign.
money.
Yep, definitely. It's not cheap to have a piece of equipment down.
No.
You know a guy named Darrell?
Who?
Darrell.
No.
Darrell begins with a W. Can't think of his last name right now.
You work down there?
Yeah, he works down there. But I did a project for him. Him and his wife did a restaurant down in Reading. And I did the fit out for the restaurant.
That's cool. That's pretty freaking good, man.
It's like new almost.
So there's a little bit of metal right there. I'll get that cleaned up, but nothing too crazy.
Uh-huh. What do you do? Just chip it out and then primer it?
Yeah, then I put I cut piece of metal out and put in secured in there with JB Weld. I know JB Weld's kind of ghetto, but you can't even weld that anyway. You'll
It'll
do
just
more damage than you
burn
will
right
good.
through it,
Right,
yeah.
yeah. So I'm a big fan of JB Weld for that.
Me too. I love JB Weld. Remember those rockets when you were a kid that you could buy them in box tops or whatever, and they had an engine in it and they would fly up 1,000 feet or whatever?
Yeah, air hogs or whatever the hell they're called.
Something like that. Yeah, I used to be really big into that, but I didn't have the money to buy the launching pad and all the original stuff that you needed to do it. So I took an old wooden briefcase that my dad had, like a wooden box it was, and I put a doorbell switch on it and hooked a battery, like one of the big flashlight batteries that they used to have. and ran leads out with the alligator clips, and I used that to launch my rockets.
There you go.
And I used the wire spool like for like air conditioning thermostat wire.
Yep.
I used an old spool and a heavy coat rod or a coat hanger, and I cut out 2 discs and I JB welded them together. Because the first one I just did a
Probably
single
works
disc.
great.
It worked perfect. The single disc would just burn when the engine hit it. So I welded with JB Weld. I welded 2 of them together, and it worked perfect.
There you go. Yeah, like I said, there's no moving parts. It's all just sitting there. So the JB weld will suffice just fine.
Yeah, definitely. It's
Would
good
weld be better in most cases, of course, but
But
sometimes you just gotta
it works. Yeah.
just you guys gotta use what you can. So as you can see, this is definitely a night and day difference as to what it was. I have no problem putting this back in and returning it to service. Like I said, that's just stain. There's you're not going to remove a stain. The stain just is what it is. It's not a new unit. It's a old ass unit. It's cosmetic restoration.
Yep.
So let that sit out for a little bit. I'll hose it down one more time just to make sure all the shit's off of it.
All right.
Other than that,
Yeah, it looks
get the pressure out of here. I gotta be an hour into this or more by now. Oh, by the way, I wasn't doing this when you got here.
good. I didn't see a thing.
Liz says I gotta spend every minute working on the house.
Okay.
Which, if there's not like, if we're at a spot where the spot that we're at, I can't do nothing yet anyway.
Yeah.
You are not. Would you agree that you are not doing that single-handed?
Not too easy. No, you'll bust stuff up before you get it in, right?
Exactly. You're related to her. You know how she is. Liz wants it. She wants it now.
Yep. I think it's a girl thing.
Oh, for sure.
Carolyn's the same thing. Right? She's like, you have a lot of yard work to do.
They have no concept of time or how long something takes to do it right.
No.
So again, what I'm doing there is I'm just going in between the coils itself. You can see where the copper lines run through. And just making sure there's nothing lodged in there, that's all. And I can totally see light through the other side of it.
And just cleaned up.
Yeah, a little bit at the bottom there. Bottom's always the worst, because that's the part that's sat in the rusty water.
Yeah.
Especially with a unit that rusted that bad. It's actually a miracle it's just still good.
Yeah.
Now, I could also do what General Electric did. They put a freaking compactor. They had like an L piece on the bottom here. They made it so the fan didn't blow air under the condenser. Made it so the air caught on that and still had to run up.
And we did that to keep it so that
Keep it so if it did rust, and they did rust. The joke with the DE Super Thrust is you call them a DE Super Rust. Because they rusted really bad if you didn't pull the drain hole out.
Okay.
They came with a drain hole, but it was plugged, so you had a choice of whether or not you wanted to remove it.
Okay.
Most people didn't read the instructions.
Okay. And that's true today. How many people get something?
So they would just install it, and that would be it. And it would just sit in freaking like over an inch of water, just rot away. Because eventually it would start dripping, but it wouldn't. It was.
It had to fill up.
You had a choice whether you wanted no drip dehumidification or if you wanted it to condensate the drain. They gave you that option. But if you didn't read it, you wouldn't know that.
You just let it plugged and didn't worry about it.
And man, did they rot. Oh, this unit's done.
All
Well,
right,
at least for this step. That compressor, I don't think it's dry yet anyway. And we're ready to get started on some work, so I'm good with it.
What color is it going to be? Black?
I don't know. I might paint the compressor green.
That'll be cool.
Yeah. May as well modify it a little, make it look cool.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm sure Brian will comment and let me know if he color he wants it. I'll probably live it up to him.
Yeah. So do you still get the, like, what is it, R12 in them, the refrigerant?
This one here is 22.
R22. What about some of the older ones? Can you still get the old refrigerant, or is it all the ones?
I picked up when I did that haul yesterday. Like one guy there asked me if I needed any R22, and I said, "Yeah, I got to talk to my buddy Kenny because I don't do the cooling system work.
Yeah.
I want to learn it eventually. I just don't have the time it takes to dedicate to that. But yeah." All right, yeah, there's no more studs in the grass here. That's the telltale sign we're pretty well diluted.
Good deal. Did you know my dad used to work on these?
Yeah, he was actually talking to me about he used to sell Philcos and service that, and he said, he actually mentioned the Tecumseh B series compressor.
Cool.
I'm like, yeah, my Philco unit downstairs has a, he was like, is it noiseless? I'm like, yeah, want to see it?
Awesome.
Yeah, he used to sell Philco. He said he said the unit in his house in not Greenwood Hill.
George Street.
Yeah, it had a Philco Ford noiseless in it. Said he took it out sometime in the 1980s though. So it was before I was even born.
Yeah.
Probably before Liz was born too.
When were you born?
1990.
1990. Oh, you just made me feel old. 1972 for me.
Oh, really? You were 18 when I was born.
Yeah, holy shit. When was Liz born?
1988.
88.
Wait, you're 50?
52. I'm gonna be 53.
Holy shit! I thought you were. I thought you were in your 40s.
No. Well, that made me feel better.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
All right. As far as I'm concerned, we're done.
All right. Awesome.
Time to cut some countertop and hope I don't fuck it up.
We won't. It's gonna go good.
Oh, you won't. I might.
It's gonna go good. Think positive.
Yeah, how about it? Yeah, an hour, 16 minutes, and 35 seconds.
All right.
So that's that, but that's not all by any means. Just enough for today.
Yeah.